all of college football right now is in a holding pattern as we wait to see what Lane Kiffin is going to do. Everything. There's a lot of big games. I'm going to post my picks a little bit later. We'll have the show with Kelly Stewart for college football and the NFL. But big picture, everything is frozen as Lane Kiffin now, as Ole Miss's head coach, he is the top target at Florida. He is the top target at LSU. Yesterday, I polled you guys, something like 45,000 of you voted. What is the best job of the top 3 available jobs? LSU 1, Florida 2, and then Penn State 3 was your votes. I think I agree with that. And my take on why LSU right now is the best available job, LSU won national championships with Les Miles, and they won national championships, and won a national championship with Ed Orgeron. Is there any other school in America where Coach O and Les Miles could have won national championships? It's a really fun question to think about. That speaks to the quality of the overall job. No disrespect to Coach O, no disrespect to Les Miles. I loved those guys when they were head coaches. But would any of you out there right now, at the absolute peak of their ability, coaching-wise, would you be ecstatic if your school hired them right now? If you could go back in time and UCLA at their best got Les Miles at his best, would everybody be ecstatic? Coach O, Virginia Tech, any school in the country. I think that speaks to how good of a job LSU really is, that guys like Coach O and guys like Les Miles could win national titles because Nick Saban set the foundation at such a very high level for the overall potential success there. So I think LSU is the top option. Doesn't mean that Lane is going to think that. Doesn't mean that Jimmy Sexton is going to tell Lane that. There could be a disagreement on this as to what the best job is, but I think it's LSU. So I built on that. 45,000 of you vote. I agree with you. I think LSU is the best job out there. Would you advise, if you were Lane Kiffin's agent, would you advise Lane Kiffin to take the job and go and become a head coach at LSU or at Ole Miss? And I jotted this down. It may have changed somewhat in the last 30 minutes or so. But so far, right around 10,000 of you had voted early in this poll, still early. And you said 64% of you said, I would advise him to stay at Ole Miss. 36% of you said, I would advise him to go to UF or LSU. Now, at some point, the poll is probably going to end up on a message board. It may have already ended up on a message board. And it will become somewhat unreliable because it gets flooded by people who are fans of Ole Miss, for instance, or Florida or LSU. And they vote in, and it's not an objective sample size anymore. But 64% of you, I was curious to see what the results would be. 64% of you said he should stay at Ole Miss. 36% of you said he should go to UF or LSU. My advice right now would also be stay at Ole Miss. But it would be stay at Ole Miss because it's something that almost no one else is talking about, and that is this. It's going to be hard for Lane to leave if, as I suspect will be the case, if Ole Miss ends up making the college football playoff. I talked about this yesterday. Nobody else is talking about it. First round of the college football playoff around December 20th. So you can't go anywhere from the end of the season right at Thanksgiving. I think the Egg Bowl is on the Friday after Thanksgiving. You can't go anywhere from the Friday after Thanksgiving all the way until December 19th or 20th. That's if you play. It's also possible that Ole Miss could end up one of the top 4 teams in America if they were to win out. Just possible. If you win, then you play again on December 31st or January 1st. So you can't go anywhere during that time. I think after beating Oklahoma, the chances are very high that Ole Miss is in the playoff. And so I would be advising Lane to go ahead and take the $13 or $14 million a year that Ole Miss is going to have to come up with to keep him there and guarantee it for multiple years. Now, Lane is the most desirable coach in America right now. Yesterday I said, hey, LSU, go offer $25 million to Nick Saban. I stand by that. But I don't think Nick Saban's going to come out of retirement. So everybody's waiting on Lane. If Lane stays at Ole Miss, who are Florida and LSU going to hire that's going to get their fan bases excited? I don't know. Who's Penn State going to hire? Maybe Matt Rule? I'm just saying this is going to be a wide open coaching search world, and the transfer portal is going to be bonkers even by transfer portal status. And I don't know how many head coaches out there are desirable enough that if they are out there and available, that you would say, oh, this is going to make people at LSU super happy, or this is going to make people at Florida super happy, or this is going to make people at Penn State super happy. And people say, oh, what about Eli Drinkwitz? Well, unfortunately, his quarterback just got a serious injury. Right now, Missouri is 6-2. If they finish 8-4, which doesn't seem crazy to me, are Florida people going to be like, there's no way we can lose with Eli Drinkwitz? Are LSU people going to be like, oh, Eli Drinkwitz, he's a definite home run hire? I don't think so. James Franklin is out there, most successful coach available right now. Are there other coaches that are successful that could be pried away from where they are? Would Marcus Freeman leave Notre Dame? It's going to be hard if they make the playoff. It's a great job. Would somebody like Josh Heupel leave Tennessee? I don't know. Is Auburn going to open up? What other coaches is Nebraska going to open up because Matt Rule decides to go to Penn State? What's going to happen at North Carolina with Bill Belichick? There are so many different moving parts. There just aren't that many proven head coaches. Maybe Rhett Lashley is going to leave SMU. Are people going to be ecstatic over that? We'll see how he does this weekend going up against last year, maybe more so when they made the playoff. They got Miami coming to town. My point is, there's just not a lot of proven head coaches that I think are going to be on the market. I'll give you one. Kyle Whittingham. Would he ever leave Utah? Would Kalani Sitake leave BYU? Remember, out of nowhere, Auburn hired Brian Harsin from Boise State. Jed Fish out at Washington. Could Dan Lanning, just tossing it out there, could Dan Lanning end up in play out at Oregon? It's going to be challenging if he makes the playoff. Just think about it. Is suddenly a decent year at UNLV going to have Dan Mullen back in the mix? I'm just telling you, buckle up. This is going to be one of the craziest seasons you have ever seen.